I remember in kindergarten, all through grade school, middle school, and even some of high school, where you'd walk into a new classroom, take a seat at a desk, and there'd be this white half sheet of paper with the massive title on it that said, "Tell me about you." So you read through the questions and it asks, "What's your favorite color?" Or, "What's your favorite movie?" And the list just keeps going. But for some reason, there's this one question, and this one question I can always recollect. It rings in the back of my head. What do you want to be when you grow up? It's almost like I have this stern voice in my head saying it to me over and over again. We all have heard this question countless times, so maybe being the first or second grader that we were, our first instinct was to write the first thing that popped into our head. Lawyer, doctor, teacher, athlete. Did we really, at age 8, know for a fact we wanted to be a neurosurgeon? Maybe you did, but I surely didn't. We constantly hear that lawyer, doctor, teacher, athlete. It's what made up our basic society. That's what made up our workforce. Let's take another example. Growing up, we are all supposed to take certain classes. In elementary school, we don't get options. We get assigned teachers. In middle school, you get about 1 or 2 elective choices, but those are even limited. In high school, you get a little bit more freedom, but you're still considering, what are colleges going to think about that? Or, my best friend isn't taking that class, so why should I? I hate to say it, but I was a part of that. Quite frankly, I think we all were. I would go day to day from one period to the next, not really taking in the information I was being taught. I was going to the classes I needed to get the grades I needed to get into the next 4 years of college. A couple weeks ago, my IB English class was watching a J.D. Salinger documentary. For those of you who don't know, J.D. Salinger is an American author who's mainly known for his published work, Catcher in the Rye. Now, like a typical high school student, I walked in, saw that we were watching a documentary, and I thought I could just sit down and kind of skim by that class period. But as I watched Salinger continue to get taken down because he wanted to be a writer, and constantly denied from the New Yorker, it inspired me. I know, it's weird, but it did inspire me. He turned out to be able to create amazing pieces that now make history. That's what made me want to write. So the rest of the day, all I could really think about was that documentary. It was kind of just lingering in my head, and I was kind of dabbling with the fact, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be a writer. And I got in my car after 4th period and got in, closed the door, and sat there. I had these voices in my head kind of saying, writers can't make it in the real world. Writers can't make enough money. Writing's a hit or miss opportunity. Writers can only make it big if you're exceptional. I wondered to myself if Salinger had heard these same voices. So as my writing career began, I kind of decided that I wasn't just going to sit in my room and write in a diary. I was going to do something that was going to leave a mark. So I started writing down things on a notepad, and these ideas kind of started piling up. And they all kind of came together, and I decided to start a blog. Now, I really wanted it to be as close to perfect as it could get it when it came to content and character. I brought in some help from my sister to help me kind of design it. And once it was kind of in place, I had all the pictures and the logo and everything. But then it was time to publish my work on it. I was so scared. So I was sitting there, and I remember it vividly. I was sitting in this room that my mom created for my family. It's a little bit of a studio. We can paint, kind of get our creative juices flowing in that area. And I was sitting at my desk, and I clicked the post button. My first introduction post was up. I kind of sat there waiting. I didn't really know what to expect, kind of thinking 5 to 10 views that day at most. Next thing you know, all of a sudden, my phone is buzzing out of control. I'm getting DMs, text messages, Snapchats, my email's popping up, notifications. Oh, so-and-so just entered in and they're reading your post now. I was like, whoa, this is all happening way too fast. So I kind of took a step back and I was like, okay, I'll give it some more time. And I realized I reached 100 views on my first day published. That astonished me. I was so incredibly excited for what was ahead. So as I saw that people were kind of clicking on my blog here and there, and then it started becoming more constant. People loved what I was writing, kind of clicking on the hearts and the comments, and I was getting all this interaction. It made me want to write more. So started writing once or twice a day, posting more often, and my numbers were just going up. After that, I realized that I wasn't feeling like my goal was accomplished because of the thousands of views I was getting. I realized that my goal was accomplished because I got my work and my words out into the open. Now, I really want to advise you, please, take a step out, realize, and think. Are other people and society making decisions for you? Or are you striving for those secret ambitions that you've always wanted to pursue? Step back, make decisions for yourself, and do not care what society or other people think of you. Thank you.